हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। Let's chant it together. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini iti namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. I know it's a holiday weekend and all the schools having holidays. Some of the offices are also holidays. At the same time, it's a holiday, right? So it's a auspicious day whenever the devotees come together. That is a holy place. And Bhagavatam, there is a nice verse. It says that Pibanti ye bhagavato atmano satam kathamritam shravana pute susamrutam punanti devi. It gives the falastuti of hearing Bhagavat, hearing the topics about the Lord. What is the result? We get it by hearing the glories of the Lord, by instructions of the Lord. What it says? Pibanti e bhagavato atmana satam. Pibanti. We have to drink. One of our acharyas, especially in Bhubaneswar, like one of the Prabhupada's disciple, very senior disciple, very dedicated disciple. His name is His Holiness Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. He set up a beautiful temple near CRP, near our Nayapalli, Bhubaneswar. And he used to say that, yes, we have opened a crying school. This temple is nothing but a crying school. So they, of course, we don't come to cry that, okay, I need this or that. We are crying in the temple to get the most auspicious, most precious treasure, the love of Krishna. And then he used to say that, yes, a lot of people, if you go to the downtown in any place, they said, especially during this time, time of New Year and all this, right? What is the main thing they want? Drink and dine. Right? Drink, dance, and dine. So Maharaj also, he used to say that in our temple also, we should have a board. What? Come, drink, dance, and dine. Then all the disciples, they got bewildered. This is a temple. How we can drink? And then Maharaj said, yes, we can drink. Because Bhagavatam is saying to drink. What to drink? What to drink? Pivanti ye atmano bhagavata sata. Pivanti, yes, we have to drink. Right? Yes, sometimes we think that, we have to drink the mango juice or, some nice, lassi, right? But here, right, our Acharya is saying that we have to drink through our ears. You have to drink. What do you have to drink? You have to drink the sweet nectarian pastimes of the Lord. Kathamrutesu. Kathamruta. This is Amrita. This Amrita, like even we think of this heavenly nectar, right? It can maybe just give a extended life. But this Amrita, right? This Kathamrutam really gives, right, the love of Krishna. Kathamrutam. Sravana, Utesu. And how much we should drink? We should open our ears and drink as much as possible. As much as possible. Unlimited. Ek pek, do pek nahi. We can drink unlimited. Like bhar ke, and that's what it is. Katha. And then once you drink, what will happen? Our Acharya is saying in this Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.37, Punanti te visaya vidusita sayam. Punanti. With that, our polluted aim of life, our heart, our mind, which has been polluted for a long period of time, for millions of lifetimes, it will get purified. Punanti te visaya, because it's purified, with that visaya to get attached to the sense objects. Now our indriyas always looking forward to attach to the sense objects, and that material contamination will get purified. Punanti te visaya vidu sita sayam. Is that only? No. Our mind and heart will get purified, and the second benefit is that prajanti tatsarana saro ruhantika. Prajanti, then you will be walking towards the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. दो benefit है. क्या है? It's not that our heart will get purified, but also will be eligible. We'll get a ticket going back to Godhead. Very well. So in our Vedic Shastras, they talk about two things. There is something called Anartha Prabhuti and Artha Prabhuti. Anartha Nibruti. Anartha Nibruti is what? To get rid of all our unwanted, desires, unwanted the enemies, from our Anartha Nibruti. And Artha Prabhuti means, yes, it's not that we are free from the diseases, we are free from the bacteria and the viruses, but also Artha Prabhuti, we are really acquiring, which is really, good for us. We are also taking vitamins and supplements, which will make ourselves stronger. So the Sravanam, that's why it's so very, very important. Especially that's why our Acharya is saying that, and the hearing is the first qualification, in the path of spirituality. Submissive oral reception. Yes, yes. Once we come, we should hear. And of course, once we hear, also you have to speak. That's why we have this session. Because how, it is so beautiful. One time, one of our devotees was telling a very nice story. He was saying that there was a kathakar. He was sharing beautiful pastimes of the Lord, and always there will be different kinds of audience. They come for different reasons, and one person, he was thinking that somehow or other I am having, sleeplessness problem. I'm not able to sleep. But जब भी भागवत कथा में जाता हूँ, अच्छा खासा नींद आ जाता है. जब भी उनका प्रेयर चालू हो जाता है, वो नींद आ जाता है. So it's a good place for me, to get a good sleep. I said, okay, the kathakar was saying, okay, at least he is coming, But then, he was kind of still, asking that whoever was coming, that person, whenever he was coming, aa gaya kya? Baith gaya kya? And then he says, then when he was kind of, at the end, he would say, abhi ja raha hai kya? These are three things that he would hear. First two things that, okay, once he comes and then he would sleep, and then after he was going, then he would see the kathakar, oh, ab ja raha hai kya? And then at least these three sentences he had in his, heart. And then one day, this person who was just trying to get a sleep, right? He was getting it, and then he was getting recovered. And one day he was sleeping in his house. And in the dream, he was remembering this, the sound vibration that was coming from the kathaka. What he started saying? Aa gaya kya? So at that time, what happened? Literally, there was a thief. Chor was really coming inside the house, right? And then he was saying, "Aa gaya kya?" Right? Then he got scared. Is it me that he has already recognized? It's, he has a mystic power. And then, as soon as he heard that thief, he sat down. That person started saying, "Baith gaya kya?" Then there was definitely this person is really mystic. Let me run away. What he started saying, "Ja raha hai kya?" So how even if we hear a little bit, right? Not only materially but also spiritually, it really helps a lot. So yes, keeping that humor aside, we are just reflecting whatever we have heard. Yes, especially in this age of Kali, is characterized, by different qualities. It is in Bhagavatam once again it is said that tatas chano dinam dharmam satyo saucham khyama daya nangsati ayu balo smriti. So in this age of Kali, the people usually they are manda sumanda mataya manda bhagya upatrita, right? Their mind is very disturbed. People, their ayu is very less. Their intelligence is not sharp enough. They really forget a lot of things, forgetfulness. So at the same time, yes, kalo dose nidhe rajan asti he ka mahan guna. Still, yes, there are so many faults are there in this Kali Yuga, but just by just hearing this Bhagavad Katha of the Lord, chanting this holy name of the Lord, we really go back to Godhead. So in this most dangerous time where there is no good qualities, but still, just by taking a little bit, right, we can get the highest benediction. So anybody remembered what we had discussed? Maybe we are discussing that we discussed last time the first 6 sessions. We talked about the searching for happiness. Then we talked about Pecha perfect solution. That we talked about the root cause of suffering, surfing through the suffering. Of course, we didn't talk about those 2 pastimes, Rama and Damodar. Of course, there are a lot of learnings there as well. But we thought let's go proceed. And we also discussed about the regulations of our life. Mind control and regulation. So anybody remembers any points from that session that was taken by our Harishyam Prabhu in the month of Kartik? He had taken that session. Anybody remembered any other points from that session? What is that mind is all about? How to live a regulated life? Anybody remembers? Especially, we talked about that how we are the soul, right? And then the soul is covered by 2 layers. One is subtle layer, another is a gross layer. This gross layer is our body, bones, muscle, blood. This is all right made up of this pancha bhuta. Bhumi, Apa, Analo, Vayu, Kham. These are 5 elements, pancha bhuta. इसलिए हम बोलते हैं पंचभूत का शरीर बोलते हैं. But beyond that, right, the soul is covered with this sukma sarira. That's called mana buddhi ahankar. And so what do you think? A soul is controlled by mind or mind controls the soul? Who is? Mind controls the soul. Yes. What do you think? Who is superior? Who is superior? Soul is superior. Yes. Prabhuji is saying mind is superior. Why? Yes. 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 Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Parajeta. Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yat ahetukam. Right? Yes. Once you develop the bhakti, right, this Jnana, Vairagya, everything will come. But what Prabhuji is trying to say is that how the mind becomes superior. We also talked about that chariot. Do you remember that chariot analogy? In that chariot analogy, anybody remembers what are the different components are represented in that chariot? Who are these horses in that chariot? Very good, excellent. Okay, senses are the like the horses, and over the reins, mind. Very good, excellent. And who's the charioteer? Intelligence. Very good, right? And then who is that passenger? So excellent, excellent. So, like in a smooth sailing chariot, who controls? Huh? Intelligence, right? Like in a big charioteer, right? The intelligence controls, and then it reins the mind accordingly, so that the horses go. But if these reins are weak, the charioteer is weak, what will happen? The horses, they will go in different directions. So in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 6th verse, Lord is saying to Arjuna, yes, mind can be our friend and mind can be our enemy. If we are able to control our mind, right, mind can be our friend, right? But if you are not able to control our mind, then mind becomes our enemy. And what kind of an enemy? It's not very dangerous enemy, because it's a stubborn, obstinate, and sometimes it comes as a spy. You heard of this called Trojan horse? How many of you heard Trojan horse? Right? What is that, Prabhuji? Prabhuji also knows. Yes, what is that?
Actually, I don't remember.
Okay, Prabhuji, you remember? Yes. Yes. They were hiding. Yes. They destroy the enemy camp. So, like how there was this fight between these two, big kingdoms, and one kingdom was thinking that yes, they have really literally owned it, but then they saw that there's a beautiful, horse, beautifully decorated. Okay, maybe this is a gift for us. Let's take it back, to our kingdom. And once they brought that kingdom inside, there were the soldiers. Or like you think, how the terrorist, right? How they really hijack and they really take that. Similarly, this our Acharya is saying that this mind also plays like that. Mind also plays like the terrorist. Mind also plays like the terrorist. Mind also plays googly. Everybody can relate to googly. How you would be thinking that ball will go like this, but it will go like this, right? Mind play googly. Oh, like you want to wake up early in the morning, and it's like, no, yesterday we were very tired. No, why don't you need some good rest as well? Just instead of waking up at 5 o'clock, just snooze it for 5 more minutes, and after 5 minutes you will wake up. It's okay. That's the deal that we make it. And after that, what happens? Somehow you just snooze. Then it becomes, instead of 6 o'clock, you wake up at 7:30. And then once बच्चे को भी स्कूल भेजने का है it's getting late for the school. अभी खाना भी बनाने का है, बच्चों को भी रेडी करने का है, ऑफिस भी जाने का, right? Or you'd be thinking that, okay, I'll just see, this is a nice clip, nice reel, right? You thought that, okay, now I'll just switch off my digital devices and then I'll just sleep early, right? Because we heard that, right? If you want to sleep early, means once you have to wake up early, means you have to sleep early, but सोने के टाइम में मोबाइल में थोड़ा देखते हैं क्या मैसेज, नहीं इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेज आया होगा हमारा, गीता कोर्स के बारे में, चलो थोड़ा सा देखते हैं. वंस यू स्टार्ट सर्चिंग, थोड़ा सा यूट्यूब में चले जाते हैं, थोड़ा सा एक शॉर्ट्स देखते हैं. शॉर्ट्स मतलब जैसे 30 सेकंड का है, एक देखे ना अच्छा लगा, और एक यू आर वाचिंग शॉर्ट्स ऑफ 30 seconds, but you end up spending for 30 minutes or even more than that, right? That's how it happens, right? How the mind traps us, mind hijacks us, our intelligence. It might be thinking that, right, it's good for us, it's very nice, right? But then it really drags us down. At that time, who has to be stronger? Yes, mind has to be stronger. How mind can be stronger? By intelligence. Yes, the charioteer, it has to be strong. It has to drive that command to that reins, like no, stop it. Right? And how intelligence can be stronger? How intelligence can be stronger? Yes, so willpower, consciousness, right? So it's basically intelligence, really gives what? It gives the discrimination power. What is the discrimination? We have discussed, right or wrong. It gives right or wrong. That's why we say life is a sum of all the choices. Right? So yes, once we, and how do you develop the discrimination power? How do you develop discrimination power? What is right and wrong? कैसे हम विवेकता को कैसे मजबूत करें, है ना? पढ़ के, right? And yes, by studying, by educating ourselves. Yes, initially, we might be at a level that we don't know much. I don't know if I had shown you this slide earlier. Yes. Yes, bro. Yes. Bro. Yes, very good, very good. We'll discuss. So we're just discussing. I'll discuss that point, Rosie, in this only. So first of all, we are talking about intelligence, right? How do you get the intelligence? How do you get the discrimination power? And how do you do it in step by step, right? How do you get that progressive, understanding? First, yes, most of the times we don't know, bacche jaisa, like they don't know what is right and wrong, right? So at that time, we are in a stage called unconscious incompetence. Because even the child, they don't know, right? What they don't know. Child, they don't know what they don't know. But then slowly, then they go to the school. Then they really understand. Oh, like no, there are so many math formulas are there. There are so many physics, theorems are there, right? And biology, different anatomy details are there. Oh, this is the hard skills, right? Then you talk about the soft skill. Then okay, I need to develop humility. I need to develop tolerance. That's what you learn in this school, right? Which you don't learn in our universities or institutes, right? Then we know what we don't have, like then we say that, oh, mere ko jaldi se thoda anger aa jata hai, oh, I'm kind of so losty, right? Kind of we start kind of understanding what we don't have, what is our incompetency. And then slowly, through this training, through this education, then we do some training, we do some practice, then slowly and slowly we start developing these good qualities. We slowly and slowly we start learning, right, those formulas, and we try to apply those formulas, that mathematical formulas or physics, theorems or whatever it is, right? Then we come to a stage of conscious competence, where we consciously trying, because sometimes we get angry, right? But then once you consciously try again and again and again, right? And then what happens? We come to stage something called unconscious incompetence. Just like driving the vehicle, right? Initially you don't know, right, what is A, B, C, how to drive and all that. But then, right, you consciously, nahi, A, B, C, pehle accelerator ye hai, ye brake hai, ye clutch hai, right? You consciously try to work on it, and after that, unconsciousness, like you are in the passenger seat, your spouse is sitting, or like you are speaking with her, and then you kind of unconsciously you are driving it, right? How you understand, how you progress, right? Like sometimes we ask, right, how to develop these qualities, right? How to develop good qualities, right? Slowly and slowly. First we should be aware. First there should be awareness phase. In the awareness phase, we understand, okay, what exactly I have, what exactly I don't have, right? That's the kind of the identity, right? Once we have the identity, then we act. We don't just end up and just kind of identifying ourselves that we are the soul. That we have to act on that platform. We say that, okay, we are better than animals. Okay, we are human beings, but then I should act on that platform, right? And that's how to kind of move from this unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. Yes, I know that now I have this lacking, I need to do more, and then consciously I'm trying that. I kind of do something. I just don't end up with, oh, right, I am just good for nothing, and let me kind of lay back and let me sleep. No, right? I'm kind of consciously trying that. I'm consciously endeavoring for that. And then it's just a matter of time, right? For the kids who might be thinking that, oh, this mathematics is too tough, or learning this instrument and a music instrument is too tough, then unconsciously you'll be singing and then playing and so fluently. But initially, once you're playing, let's say harmonium, I saw that now you have to see what is sa, re, ga, ma, all the keyboards, you have to consciously try. Similarly, in our relationship as well, we consciously try, right? How do you really speak, right? And when to speak, how to speak, to whom to speak. We become conscious, because most of the times, most of the people, what they kind of, they just do it, without really thinking, without really kind of, thinking that, oh, I need to act on it. They don't even have that awareness, right? This is good and this is bad, right? Through this education, right? Through this right association, right? Through the right books, we get that understanding. We get that discrimination power. Am I clear? It's too technical. Everybody is able to follow, right? And then, right? Then once you have the discrimination power, then I dictate the mind, right? Because mind's quality is that, it's sankalpa, vikalpa, right? Once you accept or reject, or it kind of develop the right desire, right? This is the mind. This is the qualities of the mind, right? And the mind, then once it follows what intelligence is saying, right? And how do you keep the mind stronger, right? Manas trayate iti mantra. What we have through this mantra, just like a serpent is controlled, right? By the movement of this, right? Sapara, right? Similarly, this mind also can be controlled through the mantra, right? Just like when a person is sleeping, right? How can you really wake up that mind, wake up that person, right? Can you just, just sew a piece of paper, right? And it says, oh, wake up at 4 o'clock. But just saying, can you wake up? No. What do we really use at that point of time? We use a sound, right? So for us also, this mind, which is really in a polluted state, the most beneficial or most powerful medicine is this mantra, right? And that's why, irrespective of, right, any so-called, practices, right, spiritual practices, they focus on this mantra. They focus on, chanting. They focus on this some kind of, repetition of the names, right? So we can really make our mind stronger. And Lord is abhyasena yogena vairagya. Abhyasa, you have to practice again and again, right? Because this mind is so obstinate, right? Yes, but with practice, right? With that focus, right? Within a stream of water, right? A stream of water can even cut the stone also, right? It has that power. Or even this ray of sunlight, right? With that focus lens, it can really burn the paper also. Yes, right? Or last time we were discussing about this Edison, right? After 10,000 times, he got that light. But similarly, we have to try, right? Focusing our mind, hearing this mantra, then we'll see ourselves, the positive effect that really bringing into our mind. And then, how do you, purify our senses? How do you engage our senses? And how do we, as Prabhuji said, control our ego? How do you control our ego? This is the next step, by serving. By serving. To really understand that, our position is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnara Nityadas. Gopi Vartur Padakamalayar Das Das Dasanudas. Once we think ourselves, not the enjoyer. Because most of the times, what do we think? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord is saying to Arjuna, Prakriti Kriya Manani Gune Karmani Sarvasam Ahankara Vimhudatma Kartaham Iti Manyate. The person, the foolish person, who thinks that Kartaham Iti Manyate. Always what he sings? I am the Karta. I am the Bhogi. I am Iswara. Yes, you see how I'm controlling my family. You see how I'm controlling, at my office. You see how I'm controlling, right, all my relatives, or or in the playground, right? Everybody wants to control, or even the child, right? He wants to control with their friends, because somehow that false ego of aham and mama is deeply rooted, right? Because of that ahankara, right? We discussed, right? Because of ahamkara, we are in this material world. And real mukti, the real definition of mukti. What is the definition of mukti? Real definition of mukti is that hitva anyatha rupena swarupena vyavasthita. Swarupena vyavasthita. Once we understand our swarupa, that is mukti. And what is our swarupa? And to understand that we are the part and parcel of the Lord, and we are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord. And we can be happy by serving others. Like last time, our Dev Prabhu, he was giving a nice story from that Odishan lady, poor lady. Right? She was begging. Right? She was begging, and somehow, right, she didn't have anything. Right? But then she had collected something, maybe around 1 lakh amount, and she felt that I can be more happy by giving it, right, for some higher cause, right? So it's not by acquiring we can be happy, but by giving, by serving, right? And that is the kind of beautiful learning, beautiful process, how we can really tame our ego, by serving menially. That's why kind of we see that we call it a servant leader. A leader is one who really is there in the front to serve, right? Not to take a selfie that I'm kind of doing serving menially, right? But especially in our Janmashtami and so many other functions you might be seeing, the leaders are there. They would be really taking care of all the menial things. Or like Lord Krishna, we heard that, right? How he was taking care in the Rajaswaya Yajna, the cleaning of these padas, like in the foot of all the guests, right? One time in the West, right, there was one gentleman who had come to one of our ISKCON temple, and like he just entered and he saw that one person, he was really carrying garbage from the kitchen, right, and to the outside there is a garbage can was there. He was trying to put it, and he was doing so blissfully, right? And then he asked another person, and then he met another person, and then another person, and then finally he talked about, okay, this place is so beautiful, can I speak to the authority who is the president? And then they introduced you to that person who was really carrying that garbage. And then that person realized he's the president of this temple and he's carrying garbage. And at the same time, he's so blissful. Definitely, this is not an ordinary place. Right? Because a leader, does not really mean that, right? He always wants to keep him in the center, right? Why we always talk about, right, this, this movement specifically? Because lot of movements are there. Everybody, they keep themselves in the center. In their name, they have formed these movements, right? But here, Srila Prabhupada, he didn't bring, right? Even at that point of time, a lot of people, they were saying that, oh, Srila Prabhupada, you are God. He used to chastise them. I'm not God. I'm the servant of the God. Lord has sent me to serve all of you. That was his mood. Right? So once we have this humility, right? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gives a very nice, sloka. You want to repeat? He says that this is the perfection of life. You want to repeat this? Very simple sloka. Trunadapi sunichena. Trunadapi sunichena. Taroriva sahisnuna. Taror iva sahisnuna. Amanina manadena. Amanina manadena. Kirtaniya sadahari. Kirtaniya sadahari. What he is saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is one of the essence of all his teachings. He's saying that Trunadapi Sunichena, a devotee, a person who is on this path of spirituality, his quality is that Trunad Api Sunichena. He's humbler than the blade of grass. Huh? He feels himself humbler, lower than a blade of grass. Like a person is just, walking down, right, on this lawn, this grass, does it protest? Huh? Why you are walking upon me? No, right? Mahaprabhu, that's the kind of an expectation, that he is really, saying that how, yes, right, like Yudhishthir Maharaj or Ambarish Maharaj, there are so many, kings who are there, right? But what was their mood? We are the proper, forget about in the ancient king. Even, right, like I was telling you, right, during this Diwali, we had gone to Kerala, right? A place called Travancore, right? Like, this Trivandrum, Anandapuram. Recently, the king of Travancore, what was his mood? I am the servant of this kingdom. And the real king of this kingdom is who? Lord Ananda Padmanabh. Is recently, right? Just 100 years back. Right? That was the mood of the kings of this, nation. That's the mood of this, country. Right? That's the true servant leader. Right? Yes, we talk about in the ancient kings like Bharat Maharaj or, all that. But recently, you see how and what is the prosperity they had. And all of us know what is the richest temple, richest place in all over the world? Anand Padmanabh. And what is the mood of that king? Right? That yes, I am nothing. I am nothing. I am just here to serve, right, the Lord, and I can please the Lord by serving the citizens. And I'm serving the citizens to make the Lord happy, and I'm pleasing the Lord to make the citizens happy. I'm kind of, like, or even in Odisha also, they call it Gajapati. Right? That's the mood of this Gajapatis also. The true king is that, that's why they really showcase themselves. They come in the front of the trucks, right? To tell everybody that, how, I am the servant of Lord Jagannath. I'm sweeping, Bhangi, right? Of course, sometime we'll tell about that story of, that Kanchi Abhiyan, right? Sometime later we'll tell that story. But how, like, all the kings, all the, the leaders, there's a quality, right? As Prabhuji said, that's the way we can really purify our egos, right? Unless we serve menially, right? That's why, in our this Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, and there are a couple of fundamental principles, right? We can say three fundamental principles of our, Parampara. Would you like to know what? Three. Any guess? What are the three fundamental principles, especially of our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya? Any guess? First thing is that obvious. What? Nam Ruchi. Chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Yes, we can go back to the Supreme Lord through chanting. And how do you really, not just for the sake of chanting, not that I have to chant, but Ruchi. I develop the taste for chanting. Right? Nam Ruchi is one of the foundational pillar of our parampara, right? And that is the sum and substance. That is the goal of our parampara. And the second thing is what? Vaishnava Seva. And serve the devotees of the Lord, right? We cannot reach the Lord directly unless we serve the devotees of the Lord, right? Because we don't know the Lord. Because the devotees are only giving us the path, how to walk, right? And they are giving us the strength, to walk in that path. And that's why we are so grateful. Yes, right? In this ancient, pious land of Bharatvarsa, yes, people talk about, this Bhagavad Gita. They talk about Bhagavatam. They might have the information, but how many people have read it and transformed their life? How many people have transformed their life, right? And now we see that not only, right, in India, but also in the West, in Russia, in China, in USA, how millions and millions of people, they are wearing dhuti kurta. Like we find so tough, right? They are wearing this and a sari, and they are going on the street, right? Why? Because they feel so connected to Srila Prabhupada. They get so connected, to the followers of Prabhupada, because they have really given us the path. They have really transformed us. We can really introspect ourselves. What kind of animals we were, right? We're not distinguishing what to eat, what to not eat, what time to wake up, what time to not to, or how to sleep. Even Srila Prabhupada, he has taught his disciples how to wear a dhoti, how to wear sari, how to cook, because they knew, right, in Western, what kind of food they eat. This is what, like, that's why we all always say, right, Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagar. They are the kind of the true manifestation, personification of the compassion, right? Yes, unless we serve a devotee of the Lord, we cannot really approach the Lord. There's a nice pastime. Want to hear? Not sure. Okay, I'll tell you. Very, very short, very beautiful pastime, because this land is full of so many teachings, right? Especially in Kanchipuram. Oh, how many of you have been to Kanchipuram? Okay, Pallavi Mata is there, Prabhuji is there. Shravan Prabhu, you have been there? Yes, yes, you have been there, yes. So you have been to the Varadarajan temple. During Ativarda also you had gone? Very good, thank you. So Ativarda is very beautiful. Of course, we are going to this Devarayana Durga on 7th of January. And if Lord willing, and if all of you are inspired, sometimes we'll go to Kanchipuram as well. It's a very beautiful place. One of my favorite places. We have so many Divya Desams are there. Right. So in Varadarajan, there was a very nice devotee of the Lord, during Ramanuja time. Who was that? Anybody knows? There was a devotee called Kanchipurna, who was really personally fanning the Lord Varadarajan. Was personally fanning Lord Varadarajan. And he used to speak, to Lord Varadarajan, what Lord wants and what, to be served. And the devotees would ask him, can you ask Lord Varadarajan? Varadarajan, what is Varadarajan? Varada means blessing. He's the king of, the Lord who really blesses everybody, right? And the devotees would go to, Kanchipurna and say that, could you really please ask the Lord, right, whether I'll be able to go to Vaikuntha, right? And then Varadarajan would come, like Kanchipurna would come to Varadarajan, and he would serve nicely. And then he would ask, oh Lord, this devotee is asking whether he will go to Vaikuntha, right? And Lord would say that, yes, yes, he's such a simple, sincere, and how he's serving, you and all the devotees, definitely he will go to Vaikuntha. And one day, Kanchipurna was thinking, what he was thinking? I know that I'm kind of asking for everybody, but I have not asked for myself. I have not asked for myself. What will happen to me? Whether I will go to Vaikuntha or not. Like Vaikuntha Ekadasi is coming, right, on 2nd of January. We are all eager. Right? Then he would ask, whether I will go to Vaikuntha or not. Then he asks, oh Lord, and he starts fanning. And the Lord said, you want to ask something, Kanchipurna? Please ask. And I said, oh Lord, I was just thinking, I was speaking about so many people, but today I'm thinking about myself, whether I'll be going back to Godhead or not. Will I be going to Vaikuntha or not? And what Varadarajan said? What he said? No. And he got devastated. Why? I'm serving you directly. I'm fanning you. I'm feeding you. I'm kind of serving you so much. Why I'll not go back to your abode, your Parampadam? He said, but you have not served my dear devotees of the Lord. How can you really expect me to take you? Because, you should really have that inquisitiveness and serve not only me, but also my associates. Once you talk about, right, the king means king is there with all the associates. The Lord means Lord along with his associates. You have not served, right? And then Kanchipurna, he thought that, okay, now it's enough. He put that fen down, right? And then he went to Srirangam. One of his godbrother was there, and his name was Mahapurna. And then he went there, and at that time, also, like, all the devotees, right? None of the devotees, they would like to accept any service. None of the devotees, right? They want to accept any service. So he knew that now this Mahapurna, if I go and say that I want to serve you, he will, just reject. No, 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 I cannot. You are such a Bhagavad. How can I expect service from you? And how can you, serve me? No, definitely it's not possible. If you serve me, I'll go to hell. I will not allow. So what do? You do disguise himself. He would disguise himself as just like a cowherd person, right? And then he would try to, serve him by taking care of the cows. And he would be going around and like for months and months and months. And one day, it was heavy raining, and he had just a kind of, just one cloth, literally, right? And then once it got rained, he got wet, and then he had gone to his hut and changing the dress, and because nothing else was there, he had kind of worn the old, whatever he was wearing in this the saffron cloth for worshipping Vardarajan. He was wearing that. At that point of time, Mahapurna came. He said, "Oh, what my servant is doing, let me go and see." And he saw that, because at that time, of course, it was not the day of email and WhatsApp. They knew each other, right? Right? He knew that there is a devotee called Kanchipurna who is serving Vardarajan, but he had not seen, right? But then at that point of time, he saw that, like, he realized that this person who has been serving him for so long, it's not different than the dear servant of the Lord, Vardarajan. He got really devastated. Oh, I'm taking service from you. Please forgive me. And then kind of, once he heard from Kanchipurna why he is serving, listen, oh Lord, it's between you and me, but why are you putting me inside? Right? And the Lord also was very happy. Right? So, like, Lord performs so many pastimes to teach so many things. But here, right, he wanted to teach us that how we cannot approach Lord directly. We have to serve the devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna. And Prabhuji's short question, but I kind of extended it. So, okay, Hare Krishna. So let's move forward. Yes, I see how Prabhuji is so attentive. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So Nam Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, and third is Jiva Daya. Jiva Daya, compassion for all the living entities. As you said, once we are, having this devotion for the Lord, it does not mean that we, trample upon all the living entities, right? There's a compassion, right? Not only, right, for ourselves, for our family members, or for our countrymen, even beyond this human species, right? Even the animal species. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he would be going with his disciples. He would see the insect, and he would tell his disciple, chant for this insect. Go to the near insect and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for that insect. Why devotees chant so loudly Hare Krishna Mahamantra? And sometimes devotee asks, why you are chanting so loudly? Because Acharya is saying we are chanting so loudly so that all the living entities, right, the grass or the kind of trees or all the insects, everybody get benefited by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or why in this month of, right, December, we go out and distribute books like this Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Jayanti. Last time, we had one devotee. You remember last time one devotee asked, one Mataji asked about how to keep ourselves recharged, right? That Rama Lakshmi Mataji who had come for the first time. Along with that, one more Mataji was there, Krishna Madhuri Mataji. So I think they are traveling. And just 2 days back, they had called us, all right? Oh, we liked so much, last weekend program, and they had just come along with the invitation of our Balasundari Mataji, Tripura Balasundari. She is also just coming, right? Like all of you, right? She had just invited, right, these 2 devotees, and just 2 days back they called, we would really like to have some Bhagavad Gita for distribution. I said, yes, you can go to our Akshara Yoga, and the devotees would be there, and you can take them. I said, okay, how many Bhagavad Gitas you want to take? Then I said, we want to take 600 books. Right? Like this, like they just came, right? And they wanted 600. So day for yesterday, we delivered 612 Bhagavad Gita to them. Harivo! They have just gone to their hometown and they would want to distribute, 612 Bhagavad Gita. That's got around 300 Telugu, 200 Kannada, and some other languages. Right? How, right, Lord inspires, right, to kind of share. That's a mood of our parampara. We don't want to keep it within ourselves. Right? Yes, I want to share, this love that is, Lord Jagannath. That's why Lord Jagannath comes out, right, during Rath Yatra. That's why, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and all the associates, they dance on the street so that they can really get the benefit of the chanting of the holy name. They get really the glimpse of this beauty of Mahaprabhu, this beauty of this parampara. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any thoughts? Okay, we are talking about this mind control, and then regulated lifestyle. Okay, what is the next session? Okay, I'll just quickly go. I know. What are the other session I talked about? Oh, yes, guide. I think that's what we talked about, right? Why do you need a guide? Why do you need a guide? Yes, Mataji. Yes. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. What else we discussed in that session? Yes, like for every field, want to know, we need a guru, we need a coach, we need a mentor. What else? We said the three things. Right? First of all, we also talked about, who is a true Pandita. Who is a true Pandita? Do you remember that? We quoted one sloka from Chanakya. Anybody remembered? Who is a Pandita? Who is a knowledgeable person? Because you want to accept knowledge from somebody who has knowledge. Who is knowledgeable? Who is knowledgeable? Yeah, who reads the scriptures and follows them. Beautiful. What else? Yes, go. One who is compassionate. Very good. Yes, that we discussed about this sadhu. Anybody remembers this verse? Huh? What is that? Anybody can explain the meaning? You remember this verse? Matravat paradaresu. That's the first quality. Second, paradrabbesu lastrovat, and atmavat sarvabhutesu yapasyati sapandita. Who has these three qualities, he is a pandita. He is a knowledgeable person. What are the three qualities? The first one is what? Matravat paradaresu. What is the meaning of this? Yes, Sudhir Prabhu is saying that, you see this beautiful concept, right? That how a person, a pandita, is a knowledgeable person, sees every ladies except our wife as the mother. And paradrabyesu lastravat, thinking of others, whatever is really, others' property, as just an insignificant, right? Not really thinking jealousy about it or how to destroy that, right? And atmavat sarvabhutesu, just like ourselves, we consider all the other living entities as also part and parcel of the Lord. People talk about universal brotherhood, right? But before that, we should have universal fatherhood to recognize Krishna. Once we have recognized the Supreme Father, then we can automatically will have the universal brotherhood. Then what else we talked about? What else we talked about? Why Vedas? Why you should accept Vedas? Yes, there are so many ways to gain knowledge. Why should you accept Vedas? Because they are called Aporuseya. Like, yes, all of us have some defects. What are the defects? We talked about 4 defects we have. Do you remember what are the 4 defects we have? All the living entities, they have 4 defects. So these are the different enemies. But like, our Acharya is saying that how we cannot even get the knowledge also completely. This is our senses are imperfect. Because we can see only certain wavelength. We can hear only certain wavelength. Right? We cannot see completely. So that's why we are not able to get this complete knowledge. Our senses are imperfect. Even it's a relative, sometimes you take lemon and sugar, it says something, or if you take maybe just taste sugar, maybe taste something, right? Like how it is relative, right? But then second defect, they are saying that we are illusioned, we see something and we feel something else, uh, uh, right? How we are always, because of that, we always tend to commit mistakes. And fourth is that our Acharya is saying, because we do mistake, we try to cover up and we try to cheat. And this is the kind of most of the people's these four defects, but especially the Shastra, the scripture, the Vedas, they are free from these four defects. And it is really coming in this parampara, and that's why we call these are the manuals. These are the medicines that really helps us really understanding the truth, the purpose of our life. And then we talked about why there are so many religions are there. Why there are so many religions? Anybody remembers? Like, why there are so many religions are there? And somebody might ask you, why we should do like this only. What do you should say? Yes, there could be some visual differences, right? The way maybe we dress, the maybe we offer our worship, right? It may be contradictory, right? Like the Muslims, right? They bow down, or the Christians they kneel, right? Or we kind of put dandavat, right? Or there could be visual difference, or there could be some ritual difference also, right? And ritually, somebody, right, in the marriage, in the Hindu marriage, they go around the fire, and then Christian they go down the aisle. This is walk the aisle, right? There could be some difference, or there could be doctrinal principle also, right? There could be some differences. But at the same time, amongst all these so-called religions, right, there are some universal principles that are common to all. Like everybody sees that there is just one supreme father is there. Somebody calls Allah, somebody is called Jehovah, somebody is called Father, right? Everybody recognizes that, right? And everybody knows that yes, we are part and parcel of the Lord, and we can connect to the Lord through the love. Everybody says that. There is no difference to it, right? And one time, one of our sannyasi, he was traveling in India, and then he found that one Hindu and Muslim, they were reading together. One person was reading Ramayana, he was explaining the scriptures. Another person was reading Bible, and he was explaining from the Bible. And the sannyasi asked, how come you are so good friends, though you are Hindu and Muslim? And this person, right, they really replied in a very profound way. And they said that, you see, right, a landlord, right, usually they keep a dog, right, as a pet dog. And the pet dog, right, recognizes a master, whether that master is wearing dhoti kurta or a three-piece suit or right, a vestie, or what else, whatever he would be wearing, the dog recognizes or not, right? Then they are saying that then we have a lot to learn even from a dog, that how dog recognizes a master so beautifully, but we are not able to recognize our master who might come in a different dress. Yes, it's our devotion, right? Once we have the devotion, we can recognize the Lord in everybody's heart. We can recognize the Lord in every situation. We can see the Lord, how he might be worshipped in a different place in a different ways. All right. So yes, depending on the audience, depending on the capability of that people, depending on the culture, maybe Lord would be sending some representative, or as a son, or as a messenger, right, or his child, right, to give that message, per that audience, right? And do you remember we gave this example, right? What there are different kinds of dictionaries are there, right? Different kinds of dictionary, like one could be pocket dictionary, and could be another thesaurus, right? Okay. So do you remember this slide that we talked about some time back, that how there could be some differences, right? How there could be different, like, for a child, you maybe give a pocket dictionary, for a like MA PhD, you might get a big thesaurus, right? And because, in like in different scriptures like Bible and so many other places, how Lord even says that, okay, this is what, you can digest, that's why I'm giving it to you, right? But especially in Bhagavad Gita and the other scriptures, how Lord is saying, Asamsaya Mahabhava Manadurgina. Like, he's saying that how I have given you everything here. Right? So different scriptures are there for different people based on their understanding. Is it clear? Huh? Right? This is what all we talked about. I just wanted to wrap up. But then we also discussed what is the essence of the Vedas. Anybody remembers? We talked about 3 things. The essence, the summary. Like if somebody asks you, right? We also just discussed right now. If somebody asks you, right, what is there in the Vedas? You remember? So we discussed these 3 things. What is this? Sambandha, Avideya, and Prayojan. What is Sambandha? Yeah. So who are we? I'm trying to understand the identity. Who am I and who is the Lord and what is our relationship? And what is Avideya? Huh? Then how do I establish that relationship? How do I reawaken that relationship? Through this process of bhakti. And then what exactly result? Result? Yes, we really feel the bliss. We really feel the love, within our heart. Yes, we talked about that GPS, right? And how do you really learn the scriptures? Yes, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, right? This is what it is, right? So now, right, what is the Shastra? We already know, Sarva Upanishada Gavo, yes, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? These are our scriptures. But now, who is a Sadhu? Who is a Sadhu? Do you remember this? Yes, some of you are saying that who is a Sadhu? Yes. Sudhir Prabhu remembers very distinctly all the points. Titik Savakarunika Suruda Sarvadina. He's a tolerant. He's a, doesn't become angry. He's a well-wisher of everybody. He doesn't have enemies. Right? And then who is a Guru? Guru who comes in this disciplic success. And it's not that, okay, I got some magic, miracle one night and I become a Guru. No. Or I know something, I become a Guru. No. Then he may be a Guru. Right? But a Guru means who should come in the parampara. Right? Who really teaches this message of Lord as it is. And then who really follows as it is. And then who shares as it is. Right? A Guru is that, who is really dear to the Lord. And once we find that, how we have to approach. And then we watch that movie. Remember? That ever well-wisher movie of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Anything else you remember? Anything else you remember? Huh? Yeah, at the age he started. Thank you, Sudhir. What else? What else you remember from that movie? If you don't remember, you should watch it again. I can send that link. What else you remember? That how? Huh? What is that, Manjuji? Yes. That Gopal Agrawal and Sali Agrawal, right? How kind of they hosted Srila Prabhupada once he went there, right? And what kind of a sacrifice Prabhupada went through, so much seasickness, heart attacks, right? It's not that, oh, you are the messenger of the Lord, and everything is set for you. Please come and preach and transform everybody. No, not that everything was in a silver plate. He literally showed that if you want to get something, you have to work hard for it. And that's why, the devotees, you see, like in our so many scriptures, he's like Senapati Bhakta of the Lord. He's a commander of the Lord to transform people. But still, once he comes, right, he shows with example what kind of a pain they go through. Right, like Lord Ram is a Maryada Purushottam. What kind of pain they go through, right, to teach the people, right, how to really, let's say, maybe obey the parents, or how to take care of the citizens of the kingdom, right? Just to teach what kind of sacrifice they go through. Tapyanta lokas tapena sadhava prayasa jana. They go through the voluntary suffering, just for the benefit of everybody.
You went abroad, transform the
Hippies, who didn't have any culture, to the happies, to the top class Vaishnavas. How it is possible? Right? Just by the association, just having that faith in the holy name of the Lord. Just you were chanting Hare Krishna, and then everybody was getting, their heart was really getting transformed. Like how in India also it is very difficult, for somebody, you say that stop eating meat, or doing this or that. How he transformed millions of lives. How it was possible? Can anybody believe it? Right? Yes, purity is the force. Right? We find so difficult in India, right, to gather some families and to come and practice. And all the young people at that time, they had the belief that whoever is at certain age, above 30 or 40, we should not believe that. That was that hippie culture, and they didn't have any discipline. And Prabhupada brought them that yes, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, complete contrast. How it was possible? How it was possible? Right? And we call ourselves, we are the followers of Vedic Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, and we are so much attached to all these things. Okay, what else, Prabhuji? Okay, maybe we can. Who is the real boss? Okay, we'll just go to the real boss. Before that, we'll just briefly talk about our karma. What is karma? What is karma? Or like the question that people ask, why God is partial? Anybody remembers? Why? अच्छा लोगों से बुरा क्यों होता है? प्रभु बोल रहे क्यों होता है प्रभु जी? अच्छे लोगों को बुरा और बुरा लोगों को अच्छा होता है. ऐसा क्यों होता है? Yes, karma. Yes, previous karma. Can you give some example? We talked about some examples also. Yes, as you sow, so shall we reap. Why people say like this? How do you answer to that? Why good things happen to bad people, or why bad things happen to good people? Yes. How do you explain it? How do you we talked about a couple of analogies. Anybody remembers? Yeah, judge, like somebody judge giving some penalty or punishment, or if somebody judge is awarding something. Okay, that's one analogy. Especially for this one, how do you say? मैंने तो कुछ बुरा नहीं किया था, मेरे से ये क्यों हो रहा है? Yes, Mata ji. Yes, there is something called instant karma. There is a delayed karma. So yes, maybe sometimes we see that a child, right, kind of suffering so much. But then, oh, abhi to wo janam liya hai. Why the child is suffering so much? Or sometimes the young people, they get die in accident. We think that, oh, you are such a nice, loving person. And during this COVID time, people sometimes they really lost faith. Oh, why it is happening? But we don't know that, right? That what kind of, not in this lifetime, but maybe in previous lifetime. We talked about Dhritarashtra. Do you remember? How 50 lifetimes back, he had committed some sin. For that he had to suffer, after 50 lifetimes. Yes, like yes, sometimes that's why this karma topic is very difficult to understand. Is Bhagavad Gita mein Lord Krishna batata hai, gahana karmana gati. It's very difficult to understand karma. Very difficult to understand, right? It's very easy to say, somebody is suffering, or their karma mein likha hua. But at the same time, it's very insensitive to say like this. If somebody is suffering, he does not need your philosophy at that point of time. Their karma mein likha hua hai, tu aise bhagna padega. No, at that time, what is your dharma? That is important. The dharma of yours is to fight, to kind of do the needful. And as a peers, our dharma is to help him as much as possible. I cannot just kind of, oh, right, like bajo mein, like there is a fire, oh, uska karma likha hua tha, now he is suffering. No, at that time, as a neighbor, my dharma is to really kind of protect him, to bring the water to kind of extinguish that fire. Right? That's the kind of people just take one word of the scriptures and they really concoct it. They don't follow it as it is. And that's why, it's not only you know the philosophy, but also you should know how to apply that philosophy. So you should not only know the karma, but also you should know what is dharma. We should not forget what is our duty as well at that point of time. Yes. 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 We blame. Yes. What else you remember in the karma topic? I'll just quickly wrap up. Yes, grain silo. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. What is grain silo? Can you elaborate, Prabhu?
You do some karma right now.
Hmm.
You put the
Yeah.
the top.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the
Yes.
output is from the bottom.
Yes, so grain silo grain हम बोले कि लास्ट ईयर हमने कोर्स ग्रेन हार्वेस्ट किए थे, राइट? अभी लेकिन इस साल हमने फाइन ग्रेन्स हार्वेस्ट किए हैं, वो ऊपर है, राइट? लेकिन अभी हम निकाल रहे हैं नीचे से, तो क्या आएगा? कोर्स ग्रेन आएगा. हम सोच सकते हैं कि आज इस साल तो हमारा फसल बहुत अच्छा था, इस साल तो हमारा फाइन ग्रेन्स था, तो कोर्स ग्रेन क्यों आ रहा है? इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम, इट विल पास अवे. जस्ट हैव पेशेंस. तो उसी टाइम पे हमको we should not be too much worried about it. Yes, we have to do the needful, but you have to just wait. The good days are also coming very soon. Okay, what else? What, like, most important things we talked about is that how to work, and what are the 4 vikarmas? What are the 4 sinful activities that we should avoid? Anybody remembers? Last time also we discussed. Yes, Prabhuji. Anil Prabhu, what are the 4 activities we should avoid? 4 vikarmas. Yes. Yes, Srikant Prabhu. What are the 4 things, 4 vikarmas we discussed in the karma topic? We remember we talked about sakarma, right? Vikarma and akarma, right? Vikarma means what? The sinful activities, right? And the sakarma means pious activities. Sinful activities, pious. And there is something called akarma. Akarma means we'll talk about it. But first of all, what is vikarma? Yes, yes. We should avoid gambling, intoxication, illicit relationship, and meat eating. Why we should avoid meat? Very touchy, sensitive topic. Yes. Our body is not designed. Lord has not designed this body to eat, this items. Yes. What else, Prabhuji? We are what we eat. Yes. What else? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now we are just talking about like meat eating. Why you should avoid meat eating? Huh? Yes, yes. Because you are really torturing somebody. Like, what kind of the consciousness of that animal when he was getting killed? You are really bringing that, right? And most importantly, right? Like जैसे घर में किसी का मौत हो जाता है, तो क्या करते हैं? तुरंत उसको जाके स्मशान में डाल देते हैं. And then what we are doing? Well, for eating meat, उस स्मशान से फिर हम घर पे लेके आते हैं, किचन में रखते हैं उसको. नहीं, not only we put it in the kitchen, put it in the utensils, but we put it inside our body. So we make our body as a graveyard. हम बोलते हैं कि ये मंदिर होना चाहिए, इसलिए हम तिलक डालते हैं. We kind of put this one because we consider this as a temple. The Lord is here, right? And we are making it as a graveyard, right? But then other thing also, right? Somebody might think that, like, oh, somebody is eating this one, somebody is eating that one, right? But we see that especially for killing, right? Killing especially animals. Like, what kind of the nuisance, right, they do? Can anybody go and visit a slaughterhouse and after that eat meat? So bloody, right? Like, it's so much blood, the way they crying the animals and so on. Like, you cannot even see. Can you take a child, to kind of in a slaughterhouse? Is it possible? But can we take a child to the harvesting place? It's so pleasant. That's why, हर जगह पे इंडिया में फेस्टिवल होता है हार्वेस्टिंग. कहीं पे बैसाखी, कहीं पे बिहू. This is a festival. There's a greenery. We love to go to the field. Why? We go to an orchard, right? We should see, if we are just bringing that ugly things into our heart, right? Or is it really we want to bring something closer to the nature into our heart? What else you can say? Because this is the most, आप गीता जा रहे हो, गीता कोर्स जा रहे हो, गीता पढ़ रहे हो, तो बहुत कुछ लोग पूछेंगे आपको. You should have all the answers. और क्या बोल सकते हैं आप? Yeah. Yes. रेणु माता जी पूछ रहे हैं ना कि आप you are eating, you are killing the plants also, right? What do you answer to them? Yes. प्रभु जी पूरा एक्सपर्ट है, पूरा स्पिरिचुअल साइंटिस्ट बन गए हमारा सुधीर प्रभु. Yes, it's our developed consciousness, right? It's a developed consciousness. And the second thing also that, right, like the plants, right, if you don't use it, right, they will just perish it. But for animals, you are killing it, for your enjoyment, right? And especially in the plants also, we don't take it ourselves directly. We also not say ourselves a vegetarian. We accept prasadam. We are prasadians, not also vegetarians, right? Even that, whatever with the plants we take, we first offer it to Lord Jagannath, we offer to Sidnaji, we offer to Ranganaji, Jagannathji. Then we accept. And Bhagavan says, Lord says, what he wants. Right? If you take something which is not offered to the Lord, that is eating sin. Yes, you are all incurring karma. We are not saying that just by taking the plants, we are not incurring karma. Yes, we are incurring karma. But then once you offer it to the Lord, then it gets purified. It gets sanctified. Right? Then we take that. And we cannot offer anything to the Lord. Is it clear? So yes, we are committing also some sinful activities by taking the plants also, but it's a less as compared to eating the animals. But then also we don't take it directly. First we offer to the Lord and then we take it. So that's why we call prasadians, not even a vegetarians. We are not calling ourselves a vegetarians. We honor only prasada. Okay, what else?
So as per the medical thing,
Yes.
Not more time.
Yes. Yes, for our health, to keep our body healthy, right? One scientist was saying that, right? Like, if you live our half of life, feeding to the meat industry, right? Investing in the meat industries, in their stock markets, in their, capital, the other half of life, you have to serve the medical industry. You got it? Right? So yes, the choice is ours, right? Yes, if we want to serve the meat industry, then we should be ready to serve the medical industry also. Yes. What else? Yes, that's what we said. Yes, that's what we said. Like even just a plant or even the animals also, right? Yes, but then we are offering it to the Lord, right? And at the same time, there is something called ahimsa milk, right? We don't even in the vegans also, right? Like when we talk about, not that we take the cows ideally, right? Like in so many communities, especially in ISKCON also we have, it's called ahimsa farms, right? We take the milk from those cows which are not to be slaughtered at any point of time. They will go through the natural death, right? We don't torture. First kind of, yes, you feed the calf and what are the remnants, you take it, right? Yes.
Negative karma.
Negative karma, yes. All of you have remembered so nicely. Yes, negative karma and positive karma cannot counteract each other. So but there is something called karma. Karma means we do something for the pleasure of the Lord, right? And then all your sinful gets, you don't commit the sinful activities. And karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. All our karma gets wiped out once you perform akarma, once you perform devotional service to the Lord. And that's why we should be working in a detached manner. Remember that lotus leaf that we talked about, right? Okay, Hare Krishna. So then we go faster. So now what else? What are the other topics that we talked about? Who is pulling my strings? Who is pulling my strings? Who is pulling my strings? What do you remember from that? What are those different modes are there? Yes. And what happens? We are in which guna? We are in which guna? What are the qualities of the different gunas? Yes, I saw Dhanalakshmi Mataji has prepared so many nice notes. He is referring. Yes, Mataji. What are the attributes of the different gunas? Tamas is ignorance. What are the properties? Anybody remembers? Yes. What else? Nidra, alasya, andhakara, procrastination, laziness. And what is a tamas? Rajas. What is the rajas? Passion. Yes, I want result oriented.
Positive energy.
Yeah, they kind of really they have an energy, right, to control, to enjoy, right, to really get more and more. That asa, that lobha. Yes. And what is the sattva? What is sattva? All their senses are really enlightened, right? That prakasa, jnana, sukha. This is the quality of sattva. So which mode we should be there? Sattva. Right? Is sattva good enough? Is the mode of goodness is good enough? Suddha sattva. Why should go for Suddha sattva? What is Suddha sattva? Why mode of goodness is not good enough? Yes, because there is always a competition, right? There is a competition between, right, this goodness, passion, and ignorance. But then we discussed about why this mode of goodness is not good enough. Anybody remembers? Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, Mataji saw a picture. Right, what is that picture? Yes. Caught in the different. So who wants to be iron chain or silver chain or gold chain? Yeah, right. Yes, it's not that we want to be in the prison, but we want to be out of the prison. We discussed, remember, we talked about that we are in a jail, we are in the Durga, and the superintendent of Durga is Mother Durga. And in Durga, what is happening? Two things are happening. We are getting different bodies and different clothes, right? Different clothes as like in a human body, or is animal body, or is a tree body, insect body, right? And then we are also bound by the chains. The chains are what? Chains are what? Yes, attachment with the gunas, with the ropes. Sattva, rajas, and tamas. These are the three gunas. They are really big. Based on the, if you are in the mode of ignorance, you have those kind of attachments. If you are in the mode of sattva, you have a different kinds of an attachment. And then once, but you have to be free from all the chains. You have to be free from the ropes, right? That's what we talked about. Because as long as we are here, we are having this pavarga. What is this pavarga? Papa baba ma. Parishram. Yes, we have to work hard and all that suffering, right? You're able to follow? Okay. Yes, but then Lord is saying that how we can be free from all these modes. We can be free from this this cloth and the chain. How we can really go out of this material world. That Lord is saying this two different verses we talked about. Devi Sagunamaya Kumaya Duratyaya. Mameva Prapadante Mame Mayamitam Tarantite. Once you take shelter of the Supreme Lord, we can be free from all these gunas, all these desires. Then we talked about how this ABCDE, right? Or we haven't talked about this one, right? But before that, what are the kind of 5 things we need to do to achieve Suddha Sattva? Yes, Mataji. Yes. Books, chanting, diet, environment. Can you elaborate, Mataji, a little bit? What is the ABCDE? Yes. 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 Very good. You do it, Prasad. Yes, by offering tulasi, by offering. Very good. And how we have to keep Lord in the center in our house, and not that, no. We discussed. We remember we talked about Bhavan and Ban. Anybody remembers? In the first class, we talked about what is a. We call our house as a Bhavan. Why we call our house as a Bhavan? Remembers anybody? Do you remember? We call ours as a. हम हमारे घर को भवन क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि वहां पे भ होते हैं. अगर भ नहीं रहते हैं भवन में तो क्या होगा? भवन में भ नहीं रहेंगे तो वन हो जाए. और भ क्या है? भगवान. तो जब भगवान हमारे घर पे रहते हैं तो वो भवन होता है. जब भगवान घर पे नहीं रहते हैं तो क्या होता है? वन होता है. और वन में क्या होते हैं? पशु जानवर. और जानवर क्या करते हैं? Yes. So now choice is ours. We want to make our house as a one or bhavan. So this is what we talk about environment. Okay. What else? What else? Any other quick points you remember? Okay. Prabhuji, you want to talk about real boss? Who is the boss? Want to discuss, Prabhu? Anything you remember? 1 or 2 points? Yes.
Wealth, then beauty, then fame.
Yes.
And 5 qualities.
6 qualities. Yes.
6 opulence.
Yes. 6 opulence. That's why it's called Bhagavan. Why is called Bhagavan? Because he's a possessor of all the 6 opulences. Very good. And then we should ask, if somebody says that I am Bhagavan, then we should ask them, do you possess all these 6 opulences in full? In full. If somebody possesses, then he's a Bhagavan. Right? He's God. Otherwise, he's a dog. Yes, he's a servant. Right? Okay. Okay, so that's what all about. And then we discussed how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has a different department, just like in a corporate. Leaders, yes, we talked about also the servant leader, the qualities of a servant leader. And we also talked about the Prem Milan. Anybody remembers the Prem Milan? What was there? What Amok Lila Prabhu said?
God becomes happy when you distribute Gita.
Yes. 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 We should make our life perfect by reading Gita, by sharing Gita. He spoke about so many examples, how so many people they have perfected their life by reading this Bhagavad Gita in different parts of the world. And yes, it's we should not be miser. Keep it ourselves. We should also share with others. That's what we said. Jiva Daya is one of the important pillar in our parampara. Hare Krishna, you have any questions before we, we wanted to revise? Yes, Mataji. Yes. Yes, Mataji asking free will, and destiny. So whatever happens to us, right, at this point of time, right, is because of our past karma, right? But now I have the free will, right, to do what I should do right now. So that will decide my karma in the future, right? So what is my, like, the free will or the dharma, what I should really follow, that will determine karma of the future, right? So yes, right, whatever, right, has happened, right, and it's because of all the good or bad things that we have done, right, yes, and there could be some delayed karma also that might come later as well, right? Even the decisions that we take can be influenced by karma. But at the same time, we discussed, those two examples, right? Like, one person going along with a drunkard, right? You see the bar, right? A person who is not conditioned, he will go just straight. But then person who is really conditioned is a drunkard, he will kind of mind will drag, to that bar. But still at that point in time, he has a choice. He has a choice. He has a free will, whether, right, to go inside or not, right? Yes, Lord has given the free will to everybody, right? It's really up to us how to use your free will. But most of the times we just blame in karma. नहीं, भगवान तो बुलाते नहीं है, तो इसलिए हम मंदिर नहीं आ जाते, है ना? और भगवान की यही इच्छा था तो यही हो रहा है. But at the same time, now it's really up to us. And Lord is so merciful. He is opening the door. He's kind of now, Lord is not only sitting in the temple, and Lord's devotees are going all over to give this opportunity to everybody. Please listen. Please take this teachings. Please take these instructions, and you can make your own life perfect. And still we say that no, Bhagwan aate hi nahi hai. Bhagwan the mercy dete hi nahi hai. Can we just say that? Like we don't work anything, salary milta hi nahi hai. Right? Yes, we work and we get the salary. Right? Yes, but most of the times, it's just a blame game. We just want to run away from our responsibilities. But Lord is saying that, so that's why in Bhagavad Gita it talks about the responsibilities and how to live a life of responsibilities. As a mother, or as a father, or as a daughter, as a son, right, or as a sister, right? Like how, right? Arjuna was asked by Lord to fulfill the responsibility of a warrior. Right? Not Krishna didn't tell him that no, तुम्हारा भाग्य में यही लिखा हुआ है, अभी जाके वही. No, Lord encouraged Arjuna to fight and to follow his dharma. Yes, we have to fight it out either with external enemies or internal enemies. Our internal enemies are always there, to drag us down. Most important things as a new year coming up, right? We should be determined. Yes, there was a research done by one gentleman in one of the West university, right? So he was saying that yes, most of the times we think of doing something, we follow some resolution, but the resolution goes through maybe 1 week, maximum 2 weeks, or maybe at the max 1 month, right? After that, we don't follow it. What is really required is that we should be convinced why we are doing it. Right? Unless we are convinced why we are doing it, it doesn't last long. It's not only we should be convinced what we, why we are doing it, but also we should create a facility as well. We should have a plan also, right? I say that okay, maybe as simple as let's exercise, right? Okay, I want to do exercise half an hour every day, right? I see that I get so much of motivation. WhatsApp videos, I get so many friends, they are saying, oh, you do exercise, you get so much of benefit. But it doesn't go beyond that. But then I just be determined. By determined, I just put it on the paper. Every day I wake up at 6 o'clock, I'll just go for half an hour, let's say maybe with my husband, and go for a walk. Or I say that okay, I ensure that I wake up in the morning, right? And I get admitted to like a association. I join this yoga center. I do this one, and then I get more. I need to have an implementation plan to follow it, right? Not that I'll just chant 2 rounds from tomorrow. No, you should be disciplined. Okay, subah kitna baje uthunga, and what should I do? Chant my rounds, and with whom I should chant the rounds. And I should have a proper plan. Unless I have a plan, right? Mind will play it's googly. नहीं ठीक है, आफ्टरनून में भी करोगे तो चलेगा, तो रात में भी करोगे तो चलेगा, आज एक्सरसाइज नहीं किया तो कल करोगे तो ठीक है, कल 2 गुना कर देंगे, आज 15 मिनट करने का था, कल आधा घंटा करने, somehow it will just keep on. But then we should prepare a plan for it, and we should really follow it strictly. We should be determined, and we should be disciplined to follow it, and always start with something small. Right? Do you remember we talked about that Milo example, how that calf he was carrying, right? Over a period of time, that calf became a bull, but he didn't recognize, he didn't realize it. And every day he was really going around, right, carrying that bull. Right? Yes. Like initially it might be very difficult, like maybe to chant 16 rounds. Then we said, okay, chant at least 2 rounds, then chant 4 rounds, 6 rounds, right? You just keep on increasing and then you will feel more and more bliss. Right? But somebody says, oh, you have to do this. Okay, मेरे से तो होगा नहीं, चलो ये छोड़ ही देते हैं. Because I'm not meant for it. No, just start something small. Like somebody says, oh, I cannot win Olympic medal. That's why I cannot play. No, start somewhere. Right? And there was this lady called Wilma Rudolph, right, who won, right, the racing competitions in 1960 Olympics. She was a like polio lady. Right? The doctor said that you cannot come out of your chair for throughout your life. Yeah? But then she had that belief that I want to do something. Right? And she tried. Every time she was trying in the competition, she was getting the last. Right? But that didn't really dissuade her. Right? That's why we talked about that Edison example also. Right? You have to try. Right? 1 time, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, and that's where we will get the determination. And at the end, definitely the result is going to follow. But we just we should not give up, right? So easily, so soon. Hare Krishna. Yes. So this is very important. How do you get the determination? Right? Yes, through this chanting of the holy name. Because with the chanting, what we are trying to say, oh Lord, please engage your senior service. And during the chanting, we are doing the most difficult, this meditation, right? We're just trying to hear the name of the Lord. Nothing else should come to our mind. We don't have to think or do anything else. We have to just remember that we have to just hear the names of the Lord. And we have to pronounce distinctly the names of the Lord. And we have to call out the Lord, as Prabhupada says, just like a child crying for the mother. Right? Very intensely, very seriously, very sincerely. Oh Lord, yes, somehow or other, I have turned my face away from you. Now I want to get closer to you. Please give me your shelter. That should be the mood of a devotee while this chanting of the mantra. Because this chanting, Nama Vino Kali Kale, Nahi Ara Dharma, Sarva Mantra Saro Nama, Ei Sastra Marma. Ei Sastra Marma. The essence of all our scriptures is what? Nama Vino Kali Kale, Nahi Ara Dharma. The chanting of the holy name. Apart from that, there is no other process. Let's take this, sincerely, seriously. Let's make a vow. Let's be determined to follow this. Yes, so many devotees have got benefited of it. Yes, if you do it, we'll also get benefited out of it. And there is no doubt. Lord is saying, Asamsaya Maha. There is no doubt about it. Let's once again pray to the Lord by first taking shelter of Panchatattva, because they are the father of the Sankirtan. Let's take their shelter and then we'll start chanting together. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Thank you very much once again for your enthusiastic participation. So I know you had a question, so maybe we can discuss.
Okay, thank you. So let's chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for our Sri Gopal Prabhu for this nice class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So one small announcement. I think everybody registered here for the yatra? Okay. Anybody have got registered? Not yet. Okay. Yeah, please do your registration. So already you have 50 registration done.